Welcome back to the Movie Marathon Men. I'm Owen Garner.
And I'm Luke Carr.
And we watch films that make us go, Spotify's doing a year in review, Tesco's doing one, Monzo's doing one, and now even the Movie Marathon Men. We are today going to be looking at our favourite films of the year, the films that we're most looking forward to next year. We'll also have to, I think, start by talking about how this is a big year for us. We started a channel.
I know. Year one.
Year one. Calendar.
Yep. A good year. You know, most beings in their first year can barely even talk. That's all we've done.
We've sort of stumbled and toddled our way through.
Yeah.
Through garbled speech and but I mean at this point I think this will have done 50 videos.
Yeah.
We've got over half of that in subscribers. So what's your number 5 spot?
It's called My Old Ass.
Oh yeah, no, I've not seen it with Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, and to be clear, I said my old ass, not mild ass. This has some spicy ass.
Brilliant.
It is a sort of coming of age story. It's a person.
And it's with an older version of herself.
It's someone who, on their 18th birthday, takes magic mushrooms, and then an old version of themselves appears, and they get kind of almost cryptic advice, little bits of so stay away from this person, or spend more time with your mother, this sort of stuff. And because it doesn't matter, it's movie logic, they can keep in contact for the rest of it by calling each other on the phone. You sort of get like the older version trying to give lessons, but it not sticking to like a younger version of themselves, and it's one of those classic. It's touching. It's a little bit funny. It's a little bit dramatic. It's just a good time.
It's just a good time, Jan. Get it? Yeah. I mean, let's talk about Aubrey Plaza's year. So she had that. Megaflopolis, which she was actually a shining light in.
What was it? Wow Platinum.
Platinum Wow, or Wow Platinum, she also had Agatha All Along, which she was absolutely fantastic in. So, you know, she's in a real spot of she just is doing quantity, and some of it's quality. So I love Wes Anderson. He's my favourite director. And this year, 2024, we got the release of The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar and 3 more, which is how I think it always should have been released. Wes Anderson has done anthology before. The French Dispatch is just an anthology movie. It kind of ties together. And these films were kind of tied together, and they have that narrator being rolled on.
They're tied together in as much as the French Dispatch is. So the French Dispatch is just a newspaper. This is
that's a newspaper, and this is a writer. So I feel that's how it always should have been laid out. So, and I love it. I think it's great, and I think he can't do anything wrong for me. I love all of his films, it's maybe not his best, but for me it has to be in the top 5.
You're starting to look a bit like Wes Anderson, actually.
Do you think?
In the over the years,
with the ears.
Over the years.
Over the years.
Yeah.
Right, I thought you
with the ears.
I thought you just looked at me and
I said, I told you, you've got Wes Anderson's ears.
You just looked at me and went, you're starting to look with him, with the ears. You are.
Just such an insult. How did you take that?
I was eyeing up a green corduroy suit.
And you went to buy it, but then Richard Ayoade ran in before you.
He ran in before me. And I was like, you.
Conclave.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just talking about all the films that you haven't watched with me.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It makes the experience a bit better, actually. No, it's good. It's like fantastically made. It's very well acted, and it's actually quite tense. Like I know the trailer maybe makes it look that way, but it's about quite a, on the face of it, boring thing. It's about an election for a pope, which for 2 hours could be reasonably boring because you go, it will just be a bunch of old people sat around speaking Latin. But the score is pretty good. Like it keeps it kind of focused. I was in the loudest cinema in the entire world when I watched it. You could barely hear the dialogue because it was edited as if we'd edited it. Which is the peaks were so high. Stanley Tucci spoke in such like just normal voice, but it came through as such a deep, resonant. Like, what are we going to do? And then there's.
Sure you didn't watch Scooby-Doo?
If I had, it would be higher. No, it's great, but it's not. It doesn't have the emotional impact for me that puts it at the top. But it was an incredible film this year.
No, it does. It looks incredible. It uses the same set as The Phantom Menace, so it must be a good film. Challengers.
And I have seen that.
Yeah. Loved Challengers. I thought it was fantastic. The cast are amazing. Mike Feist especially, I really like how different he was in this to West Side Story.
Yeah.
I was really, really impressed with him in both. Zendaya's obviously amazing, and our favourite rap boy, I can't remember his name. Josh O'Connor. The score was great, the acting was great, the tension was brilliant. I thought it looked brilliant, but for me the thing that really, really sold it was the structure. I thought the structure was done incredibly. Every scene served to make no pun intended, served to make the next scene more impactful. So with each new bit of information that you got, it made the next scene hit all that harder. And it was like a rally. Like it felt like, call and response, shot to shot, So I really, really liked that. I thought it was great, and it made tennis sexy. And it had everyone on the internet talking for 2 weeks about it, which was great fun. But at the end of the day, I'm not that into tennis.
Dune.
Yeah. I think I almost have the opposite of recency bias of like, I did really, really like it, but I think just because it was so long ago, because that was right at the start of the year, right?
Yeah.
That I'm like just not really thinking about it as much.
It's okay with the first one, but it was actually action-packed.
Yeah.
And I liked the books. It did those reasonable justice. I know people will always have complaints.
And it looked incredible.
It's one of those things where you watch it now and it will seem silly in 5 years' time.
I'm trying to remember the plot though.
Most of what you'll remember is probably like anything that's in the desert is in this one, because the first one they're in the city for pretty much the whole film.
Yeah.
But you have all the Austin Butler stuff and Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh yeah.
And just an incredible sort of.
Yeah, maybe I was looking at this and I was thinking I should maybe include it on my list. But I have another blockbuster that's on my list, so I was thinking, because I wanted to look smart. I'm only allowing myself one blockbuster, and the rest have to be serious films.
I think if it hasn't stuck with you, then that's a reasonable point.
Yeah.
If it took me reminding you what's in it.
But even you saying Austin Butler, and me being like, oh yeah, Austin Butler was in it.
Yeah. If it was going to be in your top 5, you would have known that.
Yeah. Heretic. So I loved Heretic.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant is one of my favourite actors as well. I love like an underdog story. I love a comeback story. So I love that he's had this like reframing at this point in his career.
It's an incredible run.
So it's so good and so exciting to see such a talented actor get to have such varied roles again. And because he started, not that I've seen it, but he started with like films like Maurice and stuff like that, where it's like an interesting role that people talk about, and even just like period pieces like Sense and Sensibility, which again I haven't seen, but
could have so easily had a career that stopped in 2007.
It's so exciting to see him, and Heretic was so good. I thought just as that sort of locked in room kind of movie, it works so well.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. He was fantastic. So were the girls in it. That I thought they were brilliant as well. Like, again, it's a film that has like 4 people in it. Yeah. And it's like you only have this like one thing and this one focus. And yeah, I just thought it was incredible performances. I really liked the way it looked. It was really scary.
Yeah.
We were terrified,
But we are wimps, though.
We are wimps. Yeah.
I wonder how it holds up on like a TV when people could.
Yeah.
Not necessarily us, but when other people will just sort of pause it and go on their phone for a while and then try and go back in, because it does rely on that like the tension being there the whole way through.
Yeah.
But that's not a fault of the film. That's a fault of
just modern
2024.
Society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be Mormons. They'd appreciate a film like this. Sing Sing.
Oh, the Sing Sing. Yeah. With Coleman Domingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched it very recently, so there's no recency bias. It was it released again in about 3 cinemas in the UK, but it's about people in prison, and they just have like a sort of a theatre, like a sort of production thing. But apart from Coleman Domingo, everyone else is playing themselves, they are all either prisoners or were prisoners in the past, and they were in like, I don't know if it's the same theatre group or if they were in different theatre groups, but they all did the same sort of thing where they like learnt to act in a community sort of prison theatre, and they've never acted before, and it's like their only credit on IMDb, and some of them are, they're all great, but some of them are really great. But it has this really nice, like, it's very calm to watch, which sounds weird when you like, cause they just sort of take ages with the scenes. So like, it's not like, it doesn't do a million different things. There's only like a certain number of scenes, and they just sort of sit in them for ages, and everyone's just very like raw and natural with their dialogue, because I think they filmed it in like 2 weeks or something stupidly short like that. So they just kind of did a couple takes of them just reading it out, and it just kind of, it all flows very nicely. It's very peaceful, but it's just lovely.
The Substance.
Yes.
I absolutely loved The Substance. I thought it was amazing. Really glad that I saw it in the cinema.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. It's disgusting. It's wonderful. The performances are amazing. Yeah, just everything about it I loved.
Yeah.
And what I really, really like about it is that everyone now is coming with their own interpretation of it and their own reading of it from their experiences. And I think that that's really exciting.
My number one spot.
Before you say this,
do you want to guess?
Is it a foreign film?
Yeah.
Is it with the posters, the 2 kids walking?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the poster. It's like one word. Is it? Yeah, I just can't remember the name of it.
Monster. Yeah.
I remember you raving about it at the time.
I did. No, this film's fantastic. It tells the story of 2 young boys.
Yeah.
And but from different perspectives. So you have it from the mum's perspective first, and it runs for about half an hour, and then you see all of the events from the child's perspective. And then
so it's doing like a sort of Rashomon.
Yeah, thing. Yeah. At the end of the film, it all kind of comes together. No, it's not like Dunkirk, where it's like cut around that. It is like one, and then the next, and the next.
Yeah.
But the ending is I'm pretty sure from just the one perspective of the finish. Mm-hmm. But it's just it's such a pleasant sort of drama, and it makes you like super angry at a person, and then you see it from their perspective, and you then you understand where they're coming from, and you're angry at the person you were just on the side of. Every it's not like it's super layered, super horrible people. They're all normal people, but you see like just misunderstandings from different perspectives, and it means you care about every single character, and you sort of independently dislike the other ones at different points, and it's just wonderful. So yeah, that was my favourite film that I've seen this year.
Yeah.
And it might be one of my favourite films I've seen just ever, to be honest.
I'm glad that I was able to guess it, though.
I know. I
know the text.
I'm amazed that you did. Can I guess yours?
Yeah, I think you will be able to guess.
Is it Beetlejuice?
It is.
Yes.
It's Beetlejuice. Yeah. I loved that movie. Yeah. Was it the best movie of this year? No, not at all. Do I love it? Absolutely. Will I watch it 1,000 times? Yes. Am I going to buy it on physical media? Yeah, I think so. It did everything that I wanted it to do and more. I think that as a sequel goes, it's one of the best.
Yeah.
The thing is, for me, I'm a bit of a sucker for a sequel. If it's done well, I absolutely love it because it holds within it the original film and gives me more, and I love that. So that's what a good sequel can do.
Yeah.
And that's the strength in a sequel. It's exciting to see Tim Burton back on form. I just loved it. I thought it was so great, and just decisions in it were made so well. Let's set it at Halloween. Yeah, you know what you're doing. I feel like you've been able to give like a sort of in-depth analysis of things, and mine's just been like, this is sexy, or like, ooh, spook me.
Big old thumbs up for me.
Yeah, no, but I just absolutely loved it, and with these lists, it needs to be what did I think was the best, like, and that's why I enjoyed it. But also, like, just what did you enjoy?
Yeah.
Because, like, is my favourite film from 2005 Revenge of the Sith? Probably. Like, because I love that movie.
Yeah.
And is it the best? Definitely no. I think Children of Men came out that year, and films like that, like, it's definitely not the best film of that year. But I love it. And the same is true for Beetlejuice. I loved that movie. I will watch it again and again.
Yeah.
Civil War.
Oh, I forgot about that entirely. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was amazing. And for me, like, having studied journalism at uni, like, a lot of it rang true in like, kind of, and I like film photography, and so stuff like that just sort of really gave me that not that, like, oh, I understood it more, but, like, I could just really, like, see their perspective and stuff like that of, like, and I thought it was a really, really interesting film.
I thought it was great. I thought, as you had your in with journalism, I'm a fascist, so I got my in there, and being able to see sort of a fantasy play out slightly more so. Yeah,
I mean, Jesse Plemons.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I know, it's like looking in a mirror.
Just that one scene.
Yeah.
Was incredible.
And it's annoying it's in the trailer. I mean, that being in the trailer really made me want to go see it. And then they got my money, so in a way it worked. But, like, please don't. Yeah. I love war films where they are about the absurdity of war. Like, about it being just so... It's crazy, man. But, like, people are doing stuff pointlessly, and it has, like, sort of almost a juxtaposition in this film where you have, like, real America, like, looking stuff, and then just this weird war scene playing out in front of it, and it just creates, like, it's almost uncanny valley of watching it, and you're like, these people shouldn't be acting like this. They should be not hanging this man, or whatever.
Seize Them. I saw that. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yes, I also that,
with Jessica Hines, Nicola Coughlan, Amy Lou Wood, Nick Frost, Lolly Adefope, James Acaster in a little cameo role. It was good fun, and I really enjoyed it. I will say, though, if you want to watch that film, watch The Decameron on Netflix, which is a series which is a similar kind of concept but done a bit better,
right?
Maybe, and it's longer.
Yeah, I got 2 out of big studio Disney. Mm-hmm. Very long awaited here. We finally got a view of Star Wars after Episode 9 with Rogue Squadrons, of course, Patty Jenkins' film.
Yep,
that came out this year. It was fantastic, as we all know.
I loved it.
The MCU finally went sort of darker with Blade as well. That's been so anticipated. I'm glad it got off the ground so smoothly.
I'm glad that both of those exist.
Yeah.
Just to rush us through that. Let's talk about Madame Web.
Oh,
I saw that in 4D, where the seat shook around and everything. It was
just to keep everyone awake.
It was an incredible experience, because the director clearly had gone, "Oh, this is a boring film. I'm going to rotate the camera a lot." So the seats were like rotating a lot through it, and there was a lot going on in that cinema. There was not a lot going on in that film. That was rubbish, and really has signalled the end for Sony.
Yeah.
I think that they are sure to lose the rights to Spider-Man.
Oh, well, we haven't talked about it because we haven't seen it and no one else has, but Craven just came out, so like a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes.
And we didn't see Venom: The Last Dance.
No.
Although we really enjoyed Let There Be Carnage. We loved that.
Yeah.
And Venom is fine. But Let There Be Carnage was so fun. We loved it.
Yeah.
But we didn't bother. We haven't bothered. Both are in the cinema now.
Yeah, we could go now.
We could do a double bill.
Do you want to turn up and then like that meme, like
two tickets for
no. It's like I had to go to my biggest hater's funeral just to make sure he's dead. just to watch Craven.
Yeah. But so there was that. Dee Dee. Did you see that?
No, I heard about it.
I loved that. That was great. That was really good. I loved that. Again, sort of coming of age kind of film.
Yeah.
We're in a funny bit now.
We came?
Watching these because we came for an age. We're not the like coming of age kids, and we're not the parents yet.
No. There's the Fall Guy.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
The Flop Guy, more like. It was fine. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling's funny. It's like 3 hours long. It's not 3 hours long.
I'm really surprised that film didn't do incredibly.
It was Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling straight after Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
In like a fun action comedy. Like the trailer played well in front of like every film in the early part of the year. I don't know why it flopped at all. It was a solid 7, you know.
And it's a remake.
Yeah, and it's a remake. Yeah.
Which I didn't know. Yeah. I was excited thinking like, a fun new concept. That's brilliant. And then no, it's actually an old TV show. Yeah.
I don't know how relevant it is to the old TV show, and to be honest with you, I'm not going to watch it unless you pay me.
What we found from this year is that people aren't going to pay us.
No. It's like a 7 out of 10 where you watch the trailer, you know it's going to be a 7 out of 10. You read the synopsis, you know it's going to be a 7 out of 10. You watch the film. It's a 7 out of 10. One of those like it's you see it and you go, I'm gonna like this. I'm not gonna hate it. I'm not gonna dislike it. I'm not gonna love it. Similar to that, I saw Hitman.
So yeah, I saw that. That was fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, I liked it.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
That's the type of film. It should have been in a cinema. That's the sort of cinema film.
That's what upset me with films like that. Of like, I really loved it, and I watched another Netflix movie, which I'll talk about. But I'm like, I wish Netflix also put their films on in cinemas. Like, they'll get money.
It's free money.
It's free real estate.
Wicked.
Yeah.
It's a notable film this year.
Yeah.
It's entertaining. It actually is. And I didn't want to like it. But it's just quite fun.
You just enjoyed it. Yeah. The Wizard of Oz means too much to me.
Yeah.
And they've annoyed me too much with their holding space. Off. No, it's not for me. It's not for me. Anyway, Furiosa.
Yeah.
That was this year. I've maybe forgotten that a little bit, but I did love it at the time.
Yeah, I really...
it was great. The reason that I maybe don't like it as much as I would have done is because you didn't like it as much.
Maybe. It's because it being a sequel to Fury Road, it's just...
Yes. Yeah.
In a weird way, it's one of the letdowns of the year, and that sounds so harsh because it's so much better than... It's still one of the best films this year.
Yeah.
It's one of the best blockbusters this year, easily. But it's just that its predecessor is so good, and it was 9 years ago.
The best action movie of all time.
I think it's my favourite action movie of all time.
Yeah.
But
it's potentially the best.
Yeah. But it took a very different approach. It's Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
Because obviously Furiosa did, I'm not going to even try and be Fury Road, I'm going to be this other thing.
Yeah.
Gladiator 2 went...
Do you want to see it again?
Yeah. It's been a while. Did you forget what happened?
Yeah. But it said that, but then also went, but I'm going to constantly remind you of what happened. Yeah. So you were just sort of constantly thinking about the other movie. And for me, I hadn't watched Gladiator until this year. Watched it. I think that I was really disappointed by that. For me, that was my biggest disappointment. It does one of the worst things a film can do, and it dangles the carrot in front of you of a better film. The Denzel film that was in there, incredible. But instead we're watching Paul Mescal try and be Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
No thanks. The final one that I want to talk about is the most recent film to have come out and the most recent film that I watched. It is Carry On with Taron Egerton.
Yes, I know what you mean. It's Die Hard on a plane.
It's Die Hard 2 if it was good.
Yeah.
It genuinely is. Have you not seen it?
I've not seen it.
You've got to watch it. I loved it. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was such good fun. I thought all the acting, like all the performances were great. The plot was clever and worked well, but it wasn't too complex. I thought the settings were used to the fullest of their potential, whereas in Die Hard 2 it isn't. It worked so well for me, and there were so many. Every time you would maybe in the back of your head start to get to I wish they'd do something different, they would then do something different before you got to that thought. They would be like, and now what if we do a really, really cool sequence in a car? And you'd be like, brilliant, you've nailed it. So yeah, it was great fun. It's a new year, new films. What are we most excited for? I think our plan is to reel them all off, talk about all of them, and then try and hone it down to a list of 5.
There's one called Die, My Love, which is Robert Pattinson and Jennifer Lawrence, and Lynn Ramsey, which is...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know anything about the plot of the film, but those 3 people attached to it.
Yeah, she's a great director.
Probably,
You Were Never Really Here was incredible.
Exactly. It's probably going to be good. I've got no more information for you. Paul Thomas Anderson film.
Oh, yeah?
With Leonardo DiCaprio in it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you know anything more about it?
Its title, according to IMDb, is it's Untitled Paul Thomas Anderson Project.
That's interesting. I see a lot of movies that have that name at the start, and then, I don't know, there must be rights issues or something, because they all change.
Yeah. There's Running Man.
So
Edgar
that's a
Wright.
Remake?
Yeah, it's remake. It's Edgar Wright.
Oh, but it's Edgar Wright.
And I think Glenn Powell.
Right, okay. And I've not seen the Arnie.
I've not either.
No.
Is it not Arnie?
It's Dustin Hoffman.
Is it?
No, that's Marathon Man.
Sinners is another film coming with Ryan Coogler of Black Panther and Creed films.
Yeah.
Again with Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, is that the vampire one?
And I think so, yeah. But it's
so that's one of the reasons,
Steinfeld's in it,
by the way, that Blade has been delayed, is because it's like a vampire movie set in New Orleans, and they were like, sorry, what? And they had clearly done something way too similar to it, like one of the like 10 drafts of the scripts that they've done. That'd be great. Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Absolutely.
Ryan Coogler is a brilliant director.
Yeah.
And Michael B. Jordan works with him so well. He does his best work with him.
Mickey 17. It looks good.
It looks great.
It looks fun. It's like, I didn't know what to expect just from the title, but it doesn't. It's not serious.
But I really liked the trailer that I saw. Yeah. So I'm really excited to watch that. That's, I think, is in my list of 5. So I'm gonna placehold that.
I've got Marty Supreme, which is Timothée Chalamet as a table tennis star, but directed by one of the Safdies, because they
Benny.
I think it's the other one.
Oh.
It's not the actor one.
So it's not Benny.
So then it's Josh Safdie, I think.
Yeah, because I've not seen Uncut Gems.
It's Good Time as well.
And I've not seen Good Times.
But yeah, no, they're both great, and I don't, because it's about table tennis, I can't imagine this one's going to be quite as intense.
Yeah, but we loved the Olympic coverage of the table tennis.
Yes, you're right.
We absolutely loved that.
Yeah.
So, when I said, Challengers isn't in my top spot because I don't like tennis.
Yeah.
Table tennis.
This is it.
Top of the list, baby.
Exactly.
Fantastic Four.
I think it has so much pressure on it.
Yeah.
But it's got to be the most anticipated. It's the most likely to be incredible or terrible.
Yeah. So they've got their 2 others, Captain America Brave New World.
I don't care about that.
Where Sam is finally picking up the shield properly, and Harrison Ford's going to be in it as well.
Yeah, that didn't move me.
It doesn't do it for me as much as Thunderbolts, which I think has the potential to be really fun.
That trailer.
It has the potential to be our Venom Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah.
Of like a movie that has no idea what it wants to do, what it is, what it wants to be, but it's just good fun.
When that trailer came out, it really was the sort of like, just when I thought I was out,
it
pulled me back in.
Yeah.
That was an entertaining trailer.
It's a great ensemble cast, and they're pulling the best elements from some of the most middling projects.
Yeah.
And they're elevating them. The response to that is Superman.
Yeah.
So DC are hoping to steal the limelight. Zack Snyder, he's out, baby. James Gunn's in. He is launching his DC universe. And it's with Superman. It's got a stacked cast with loads of different characters. It's a big swing. The trailer's just come out. We've watched it separately. I'm assuming you have watched it. It looks great.
I actually watched it with you. You just weren't aware.
Just you with a laptop next to me.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was great. It's always hard to tell, right? Like they're going for a very. It's not just the Avengers where it's like it's your world, but look, it's superheroes, and it's not DC's.
Yeah, it's not trying to reflect like Iron Man's like, hey, the war on terror, but with Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know,
this has ridiculous films. It has like Nathan Fillion and that stupid bold cut.
Yeah,
sort of running in
like straight out of the comics, and it looks great.
Exactly,
because it looks terrible.
Yeah, and the thing is, Guardians movies are I think my favourite part of the MCU. They're consistently the best trilogy, easily. And I love that balance that he has of like it being actually quite heartfelt and emotional, but it being funny. Like it gets me the most out of all the MCU. Yeah. So if he can make an MCU equivalent that is all of the same quality as similar tones,
the best film in the DCEU is The Suicide Squad, his movie.
Yes.
Like, it just is.
Yeah.
Let's talk about John Wick, the universe. So it has potentially 2 entries in it because it's got Ballerina, the John Wick Presents, which they've now dropped.
Cowardly dropped.
They cowardly. No, it's now From the World of John Wick. Ballerina.
So much worse.
Is what it says. So that's exciting, but also Nobody 2.
Exactly, I was going to say. I've watched Nobody 1.
Nobody 1 is fantastic.
Yeah. It's very similar to John Wick.
And they've suggested like, oh yeah, it could be within the same world, and we'll maybe make slight references to, but we're not going to do an overt, like opaque call to. Like it's not going to be like,
hello, John Wick, I need some help.
Oh, who is that? It is me, nobody. Some films that I'm not excited about but will be talked about: Wicked Part 2, Snow White.
It's Wicked for good.
Oh yeah, awful name.
Snow White. I mean, I've not
the Minecraft movie. I'm just going to talk over it because I actually don't really want to talk about it. Zootopia is what they should have called Zootopia 2. Another Jurassic Park thing. A live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
Like, look at how they butchered my boy. Massacred my boy. Anyway, I massacred that. Yeah. But, you know, the OG fans will know that they massacred my boy when they made Toothless look nothing like he did on the book covers. What is the point?
You're right, what is the point?
Like, there is no point.
I think it's going to be one of the biggest films next year, but you're right, what is the point in it?
So I'm just not interested.
There's
whatsoever.
I've got The Rock's A24 film. The Smashing Machine, I think it's called.
You what? He's got an A24
The Rock is making an A24 film, and because I believe he went...
Is he going to bother to turn up?
He went, I want to be in a serious film.
Yeah.
I can't remember who's directing it, but it's just a regular A24 film, but The Rock's in it, and it's like a boxer or a wrestler or something that's...
So he's really playing against type.
I know. There's a dangerous world where we have The Rock winning Best Actor or something.
If he wins it before Dave Bautista, that would be so annoying. Because Dave Bautista, of the wrestler actors, just is the best.
Oh, yeah.
Tron Ares, with everyone's favourite, Jared Leto.
That kind of bums me out.
It bums everyone out.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the studio were thinking. I think it's mad that people controlling studios are the least media literate people on the planet. It's wild.
Maybe they're just illiterate.
Yeah, maybe they are illiterate.
Yeah, I don't want to see that film.
No, it's kind of a bummer. And yeah, this is bringing me to the last one that I wanted to talk about in terms of blockbusters, and this is going to be in my top 5. Predator, Badlands, Dan Tatchborough. I am so excited about that. That is, so Prey was fantastic. Yeah, that is at the top of my list, but that could be the greatest disappointment. Like, if I don't like it, if it's not good in some way, or if it does something kind of lazy or disinteresting. You know, so Shane Black is a brilliant director. His Predator movie is not as good.
And then another one, Benoit Blanc, Knives Out,
yes.
whatever. There's a third one.
Yes.
That's kind of shit.
It's Dead Men.
Yeah.
It's
Wake Up, Dead Man.
Wake Up, Dead Man. Yeah.
Wake Up, Dead Man.
Mickey 17.
Yeah.
28 years later, because that's like a whole new series for me. Predator Badlands. Not Superman, so what, that's 3.
Yeah.
Bridget Jones.
Oh yeah, that's coming out.
The new Bridget Jones.
But you didn't say that with the enthusiasm of your 4th most hyped film for next year.
No, but that could be quite fun. I don't know. Oh, Karate Kid Legends, that could be quite fun. Yeah. I don't know. The Predator's definitely at the top. Mickey 17 is next, then 28 years later, then maybe Superman, then maybe Thunderbolts, just off that list.
Yeah. Mine is also Mickey 17, 28 years later, Superman.
Yeah.
And then I've got the last 2. I think, to be honest, it's the Paul Thomas Anderson film with Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know anything about it, but I like Paul Thomas Anderson films, and every Leo film is sort of an event because he only does like one every 2 years.
Yeah.
They're always good.
Yeah.
And it might even just be the table tennis movie.
Yeah.
I like the other Safdie movies.
Yeah.
I like table tennis.
There we are. That's where we stand at the moment.
That's it.
We'll check back in, and maybe we'll watch back this video and see if any of these films that we've spoken about just now are in our top films of the year. What a brilliant idea.
Yeah, we'll definitely remember that.
We'll definitely remember that. Well, we've loved making the channel. We've loved making videos for you.
You've loved watching them.
Andy.
All 2.
All of our fans. And until next time, goodbye.